All right. So there's this thing that they make you learn like every year of math that seems like it's totally pointless, and it's called the additive and multiplicative identity. What that basically says is, with multiplication, what's the one number you can always multiply by and it doesn't change a value? One, right? You can always multiply by one, which means you can always multiply by a fraction whose numerator and denominator are equivalent, right? Like if I have the number 2 and I multiply it by 5/5, that doesn't change anything, right? The top and the bottom are the same. So that means this reduces to 1 over 1, and 2 times 1 is still 2, right? So that uses actually the multiplicative identity and, yeah, well, there's one more in there, but basically the only reason we have that is so we can do conversions where we multiply with the numerator and the denominator to the same. We started in this one with 45 miles per 1 hour. And your book's always going to abbreviate hour as H, but I put HR just to, not get confused with something else, I guess. What's really important in these problems is that you keep track of your units. The units are the key to this entire problem. We want to get to feet per second. So do you want to start with time or do you want to start with distance? Come on, make a choice. Either way, it doesn't matter. Time. Okay? So we need to get it to seconds. And maybe you can go straight from seconds to hours, but I'm going to use an intermediary. All right? How many minutes are in 1 hour? 60. And this is really important. If I want my hours to cancel out, do the hours have to go on top or bottom of this fraction? Top. I need to put hours up here so that when I cross cancel, the hours disappear. Okay, because I'm trying to get rid of hours. I'm trying to get it to seconds. All right, so hours, and then I'm going to compare that to minutes. And you guys just told me there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, and some people like to reduce the fractions right now, but I just wait all the way to the end. I think it makes the whole thing a lot easier. Okay, since we're going to cancel out hours and now we have minutes, is that fine enough, or for our answer did we need to go even smaller of an increment? We need to go to seconds, right? And if I want the minutes to cancel, minutes need to go up top, so again we're going to cross cancel. Seconds are going to go on the bottom, and how many seconds are in 1 minute? 60, so I can write the 60 there and the 1 there. Now if I canceled hours and canceled minutes, I'd be to miles per second. Is that what it wanted it in? The final answer I wanted was feet per second, right? So the last thing we're going to have to multiply by is something to cancel the miles. So if I want to cancel something that's on top, it has to go on bottom. So my miles are going to be here. My feet are going to be on top. Anybody off the top of their head know how many feet are in a mile? Yeah, Taylor? Very good. What? Tori. I'm going to get this soon. All right, 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Now, we'll save the numbers for 1 second here, but the units, first of all, I see an hour is going to cancel out an hour. The minutes unit's going to cancel out the minute units. The miles are going to cancel out the miles, and units-wise, all that's left on top is feet. All that's left on bottom is seconds. So our answer is going to be in feet per second. Couple things here. If you have a calculator, you can just multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, and go from there. Me personally, while it's smaller, I like to reduce things first, right? So for instance, can you think of a number that goes into both 45 and 60? 15 does. Good. 15 goes into 45 3 times. It goes into 60 4 times. That's a good start. I could divide both the 60 and the 5,280 by 10, kill those zeros, right? I see a 6 here and a 3 here. So I could get rid of that 3. This would change down to a 2. Because it's getting kind of messy, I'm going to rewrite it now. On the top, I have 528 feet. On the bottom, I have 4 times 2 seconds. I don't want you to get confused with the stuff I had up top, so I'm just going to rewrite it really quickly. Staying neat in math is a challenge, but it helps you get the right answers. Before we multiply, does this reduce any further? Would you say that a 4 goes into 528? Does everybody know the trick for whether or not 4 goes into a number? If it goes into the last 2 digits, it goes into it. So since 4 goes into 28 7 times, it definitely goes into 528. It goes into 528. If you want to do it off to the side, if you don't have a calculator, it goes into it 1 time, 3, 2, right? So I'm going to have 132 over 2. That divides one more time since it's an even number. And half of 132 is 66. And our final answer is 66 feet per second. Hey, I got the same answer as the book. Good times. Any questions on that problem? Again, the easiest thing to do is don't worry about the numbers. Let the units do the work for you. And then when you're done, just reduce everything.